It's a rainy, cool day in Winston-Salem for homecoming, and we've got our second consecutive ACC Big Ten matchup. Undefeated Indiana rolls into town after 3 close wins to face the Demon Deacon squad coming off a dramatic win of its own. As the first month of college football comes to a close, both these teams hungry for another non-conference victory. It's the Hoosiers against the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. And hello again, everybody. I'm Tim Brandt along with Dave Archer. Glad to have you along. This is an Indiana team that's been very successful early. They roll into town behind their big running back, Jordan Howard.
Well, Tevin Coleman has moved on the National Football League, ran for over 2,000 yards a year ago for the Hoosiers. In steps Jordan Howard, the UAB transfer, and he has literally hit the ground running. What jumps off the tape when you watch this kid is he has all the skills. He runs with power, he has vision, and then when he steps on the accelerator, he blows by people. Now, he's got a veteran quarterback that's going to distribute the football, and I think the Wake Forest coaches said it best. We're going to play against an NFL-style quarterback. This guy's 6'6", 240. He has a chance to be one of the all-time greats in Indiana history.
Wake Forest has a quarterback who's a freshman and making his first start today.
Well, Kendall Hinton burst on the scene a week ago because of an injury, and Hinton struggled early. The coaches talked about how he was nervous, but he got his feet under him literally. He made a couple throws, but it was his ability to run. He ran for over 100 yards in the game, and he led his team from behind to beat the Black Knights of the Hudson. And there's nothing better than have a security blanket like Cam Serenay, the tight end. He was 3rd in the country in tight end receptions a year ago. He's a guy they'll try to find against this aggressive Indiana defense.
All right, partner, the third member of our broadcast team is Roddy Jones. He's down on the field. He's got more on the Wake Forest quarterback situation. Roddy?
Art, you alluded to the injury a week ago to John Walford, the starting quarterback for Wake Forest. And here's what happened. Went down on a slide, got hit awkwardly from behind and twisted that right ankle. He'll be on the sideline today, but in a walking boot. So it'll be the true freshman, Kendall Hinton, making his first career start. And you mentioned it, Art. He rushed for over 100 yards last week against Army, but he threw for over 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns as a senior in high school. So he can sling it a little bit, too.
Well, it'll be interesting, Roddy, to see how he handles the nerves. This is his first time to start a game. It's one thing to come off the bench in an emergency role. It's another thing to prepare all week long knowing you're the guy. We'll get a chance to see him in the second series because Indiana will open up with a football.
Mike Weaver will kick off for the Demon Deacons. As you look at Indiana's return team, Wilkins gets out to the cross of 15, and they take him down in a hurry. An 18-yard return, but great coverage by the Demon Deacons. Here are the impact players. They're brought to you by Food Lion, Arch.
When you look at this Indiana high-powered offense, fast offense, Ricky Jones, outstanding outside receiver, bubble screens. He'll do a good job of making something small into something big. And when you look at their offensive line, Dan Feeney, this is an active offensive line. They love to pull people. Feeney's the guy, the right guard, likes to pull and get out in front of Jordan Howard.
First down, Indiana. Jordan Howard is a setback with Sudfeld. Sudfeld, as Arch said, is a strong quarterback, can make all the throws. Been an impressive team early in the season. This is Howard. Gets to the 20-yard line. This will be strength against strength. Howard against the 2 linebackers, Chubb and Lee, in the middle for Wake Forest.
Now, Tim, when you look at Sudfeld, 6'6", 240 pounds, as they'll play fast and we'll stay on him, but got a big arm, strong arm, and he makes good, quick decisions with the football.
Sudfeld throws it out to the flanker, trying to get a little space. This is Page. He's got enough for the first down. The Hoosiers move it up. They'll move the chains.
Real quickly, throw the ball to the outside. One-man screen. Page going to catch it, get a block from the outside. Excellent job blocking by Jones. Get the first down.
That's the 9th reception of the year for Page. Sudfeld to throw again. The out pattern has it complete. This is Simi Cobbs. Another first down for Indiana. Pickup of 26. Tackle pushed out of bounds by Hunter Williams.
You see the arm strength here. This is the wide side out route, and the big fellow heated it up to Cobbs. And then Cobbs makes the defender Golden miss and is up the field for another first down.
Straight ahead with Howard. Not much there. Boy, this team likes to get up and go. Tyler Harris made the call. There was confusion on that 3rd or 4th down. They did not change the down markers. Finally, the referee did have them change it. It was 4th and 2. They picked up the first. Divine Redding comes in now to replace Jordan Howard at running back. Here he is. Ball's knocked loose. Sudfeld goes down. And Sudfeld's going to lose a couple of yards. A loss of 4.
Well, Sudfeld's trying to hand this ball off to Redding, and Redding got there a little bit before Sudfeld was ready to hand it off. Now, the back is responsible for getting to the mesh point, but the quarterback is responsible for the handoff in those situations. Looked like Sudfeld was a little late turning, and Redding was already behind.
No excuses, but it's been raining all morning. The drizzle continues. 3rd down and long. Sudfeld is sacked. Markel Lee got there first and took him down for a loss of 9.
Talked about how active these linebackers are for Wake Forest. Lee, number 8, is the guy that's going to make the play. He's going to shoot through the A gap and is immediately on Sudfeld before he had a chance to make any kind of decision. Excellent job by the linebacker core of Wake Forest to get off the field on 3rd down.
Eric Toth comes on to punt. Tabari Hines will watch this one at the 10 and get it at the 9. 37-yard punt. Markel Lee. Head coach Dave Clawson said his linebacker position is really like an ACC team's. Defense off to a quick start. This is a very talented defensive unit here at Wake Forest.
Well, they did what they've been doing all year long, Tim, and that's get off the field on 3rd down. Came in number 7 in the country in 3rd down defense, and they found a way to win there near midfield to get Indiana off the field.
Arch, what's going through Hinton's head right now?
Well, he's
first start as a freshman.
Just make sure the first play is not a screw up. That's what he's thinking right now. And they stoned him on the first play.
Darius Latham made the tackle.
Well, when you look at Kendall Hinton, obviously the book's not very thick on Kendall. He hasn't played very much, but everything we hear about him, obviously completing 60% of his balls, hadn't thrown that many, only 40 attempts. He threw a couple interceptions last week against Wake. I think what you like about him is the fact that he hung in there, though, and he was able to bring his team from behind to win the game.
2nd down and long, straight ahead with Bell. Bell wiggles his way back to the original line of scrimmage. Tackle made by T.J. Simmons.
Our Food Lion impact players, K.J. Brent, the senior, the transfer from South Carolina, has come up big for them this year. Already 15 receptions. He's made some big plays. And Phillip Haynes, he's one of the tackles. He's the right tackle. You got her on the left tackle. Both of them are redshirt freshmen, and they're learning on the job.
3rd down. Wake Forest needs 11 yards for a first. Hinton with his first pass of the afternoon. Lobs it up and almost picked off. Boy, Dutra, the safety, came over.
Well, it's a really good read by Dutra because he's going to read Kendall's eyes. Kendall Hinton's eyes immediately go to the outside on the throw. So Dutra flows immediately from the middle free safety position and almost makes a circus catch here. Does a great job of breaking it up, but almost came up with a turnover. This is a defense that thrives on turnovers. They've taken the ball away 7 times already this year.
So the Demon Deacons have to punt it away with 9:45 to play in the first. This is a low kick, but gets a Wake Forest bounce across midfield down to the, well, just inside the 45-yard line. They'll mark it about the 44. So it was a 48-yard punt. Alex Kittle gets that 45-yard punt, but Indiana's going to have great field position. No score at Wake Forest, 9:36 to play in the first quarter. Our Carolina 4 keys to the game are?
Well, for Indiana, boom or bust. This is a defense that gambles a lot. You saw an excellent play there by Dutra, the safety. They're going to take it away or they're going to give up big plays. Good start for them. And for Wake Forest, win on 3rd down. We've already seen this defense that's 7th in the country get off the field on 3rd down. They've done that already. So both defenses have started pretty quickly.
Dave Clawson said he does not like a bend but don't break defense, but that's exactly what he had in that first series. Here's Indiana's 2nd series. Howard straight ahead, carrying tacklers out to midfield. Tackle made by Wendell Dunn. Let's go down to Roddy Jones. Roddy?
Guys, it's been misty all morning, kind of a nasty, soggy morning, but right now it's starting to let up. It's about as good as it's been all day. The sun feels like it might even start to poke out, so we'll keep an eye on that as we go forward.
All right, Dave Clawson says, play misty for me. 2nd down and 10. Actually, correction, 2nd down and 4.5. Need 5. Let's go back down to Roddy.
Roddy, I wanted to ask you, you carried the football in inclement weather. What's the priority from a running back perspective on taking care of the ball in these type of situations?
Well, the first thing is securing the handoff. I think that's the part that you don't typically think about, but on a day like today with a quarterback's hand slippery, your jersey's slippery, your arms are slippery, you've got to secure the handoff first. After that, it's just like normal. 4 points of pressure, making sure that you have the football secured at all times.
Jordan Howard factors to be the big guy here. Here's a QB sneak for the first down, but Howard's going to carry it a lot today, Tim. And what Roddy just talked about, you know, you've got to be able to take care of that football because you're going to be the bell cow that's going to maybe allow your team to win a game.
Indiana converts on 3rd down and 1, brings first down for the Hoosiers. Again, off quickly. Here's this Howard. He's met at the line. That is Chubb again. Brandon Chubb is there first to stop him, along with Kemp.
Well, we talk about Brandon Chubb, fun guy to watch play off the block here, completely destroys the block at the point of attack by the center, Jake Reed, and then makes the tackle.
Sudfeld throws underneath, got his tight end. That's Danny Friend. Friend will be close to the first down. Should have enough. Janvion makes the tackle. It's a pickup of 9. First down, Indiana. And again, they're up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Indiana rotates a lot of tight ends. They'll play as many as 4 tight ends. Friend with the catch there on the little bootleg play.
Howard stays in the backfield with Sudfeld. First down, Hoosiers.
Now the chess game, the 2 sidelines trying to figure out what the other one's trying to do. This would be the second change Indiana's made at the line of scrimmage. Sudfeld barking out the signals.
Play clock down to 5. He's got to go. Switch sides, give it to Howard and meet him. Come up with a quick tackle from the outside. Watson is there first.
Yeah, Brad Watson at corner. Had a chance to talk to Brad's mom, Alexis, in the crowd. She was all bundled up, had her rain gear on, but Watson, 25, going to come in and make an outstanding tackle on the outside, replacing 2 really good corners of Bud Noel and Kevin Johnson here this year.
Sudfeld throws, has a man, it's complete. Graham is all the way down inside the 10. Damon Graham before Wake Forest can stop him. Janvion got there to make the tackle after a gain of 22.
Yeah, good job by Graham to get into that corner route. You see the clearing route going to clear the top off the play, and then Graham runs the corner along the sideline.
The pace is frenetic. Sudfeld again throws. He throws this one in the dirt. It was well covered, intended for Damon Graham again. Janvion was on him.
Well, Janvion was coming up so hard that he threw the ball on the ground here. I think this was on purpose. As you look at Indiana's red zone offense, 60%. They'd like it to be a little bit better than that. Obviously, you'd like it to be in that 70-75% touchdown-wise.
Divine Redding comes into the ball game for Indiana.
We're going to get to Tim to read those cards for us at some point today that they're signaling in the place in Indiana.
Sudfeld looks to the corner, throws to the corner, has a man in the corner, but overthrows him. It was intended for Ricky Jones.
Yeah, really good job by Wake Forest to sort out this combination route. 3 receivers on that side of the ball. Wake does a really good job of sorting it down. So, Gauden, the corner number 3, does a good job of staying at home and taking away the deep pylon throw.
Brings up 3rd down and 10. Sudfeld looks to the other side, throws a timing pattern, has a complete touchdown, Indiana. Timmy Cobbs with a catch.
Yeah, it is the back shoulder throw here on the fade. Cobbs at 6'4", 212 pounds, playing against Watson, the 6-foot corner. So it's a good matchup, but just a really good job of timing by Cobbs to turn and find that back shoulder throw from Sudfeld.
Timmy Cobbs' first touchdown of the year, his 12th catch of the year. Griffin Oakes comes on for the extra point attempt. Oakes is perfect with his extra points this year, and he's still perfect. And it's 7-0 Hoosiers. Timeout on the field. Sudfeld puts Indiana on the board. Cobbs, easy picking. We'll be back after word from the ACC station.
Hey, look at the scoring drive. Indiana moved the ball pretty well. Their first drive lost on 3rd down around the 40. This time they were able to punch in and go 56 yards to 51. They're not going to spend a lot of time trying to put the ball in your end zone. But excellent throw by Sudfeld to Cobbs, and really a good start for Indiana. They've been a little bit slow starting so far this year. Only 14 points in the first quarter, already 7 here early in the first quarter.
Griffin kicks off to Griffin Oaks to John Armstrong for the touchback. First down, Wake Forest. Hit cannot get away. Boy, Shaw got there in a hurry, and it's a loss of 1.
And he's playing at a high level. The redshirt senior Shaw has a sack on the game. Here's a tackle for loss. Beats Phil Haynes, the right tackle, up the field. They wanted to run Hinton on that play and just didn't have a chance.
This is Wade, sidesteps one, gets a blocker, still on his feet across midfield. Chuck Wade, his 10th reception of the year, and again Shaw makes the tackle.
True freshman Chuck Wade, Bishop Kenny High School, Jacksonville, Florida.
Gain of 29.
Was actually a teammate of John Walford, the injured quarterback. And I asked, who's coming on? Pick one guy out, Coach Clausen, that you like on your team that's making some moves and coming on. He said Chuck Wade.
Tyler Bell in the backfield now with Hinton. First down, Wake Forest for the first time in Indiana territory. Hinton rolls way right, turns the corner and picks up 5 quick ones, and then gets hit out of bounds. No flag, now it comes. It's going to be a late hit on Indiana. Latham and Oliver, the linebacker.
Let's take a look at the back end of this play. Good patience by Hinton, and a very obvious hit out of bounds, and a good call by the official. Very easy call there on the hit on Hinton. But what you see, Tim, it's amazing how your confidence grows exponentially when you haven't played very much. Hinton, we talked about, played last week some. This is his first start, so all he needs is a couple of positive plays and he's going to settle down. You could see the patience there. That time on the sprint out outside, he took his time and got up the field with a run.
Referee Gary Patterson called it on Marcus Oliver, the linebacker. Final 27 seconds of the first quarter. Hinton finally has something going, throws the out pattern, it's complete. He's getting comfortable, hits Cortell Lewis for a first down.
What a good read. He sees blitz coming off the corner. The corner's going to come off a corner fire. He's got zone read, fakes the handoff and shoots it outside to Lewis for another good gain. And all of a sudden now, the quarterback is in some kind of rhythm as he struggled early.
Wake Forest, third for first down of the game. Hinton gets him up to the line of scrimmage, now starting to get more comfortable in this game with the tempo. And whistles blow. Brent was in motion, came up and set, but that's the end of the first quarter. It's frenetic, but it's fun. 7-0 Indiana at the end of 1. We'll be back for the second quarter right after these messages.
Start at the second quarter here at BBT Field here in Wake Forest, where Indiana leads 7-0 and Wake threatening. But there's your game summary. Both quarterbacks now starting to settle in. Sudfield started quickly. Kendall Hinton starting to settle in, and he's driven his team now to the 15-yard line of the Hoosiers.
7-0 Indiana at BB&T Field. 2 freshmen in the backfield. Hinton, the quarterback. Matt Colbert comes in at running back. South Carolina's Mr. Football in 2014. Here's Hinton with a stop and go. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Marcus Oliver makes the tackle.
This is a really good job by Indiana because there's 3 reads here. They got the zone read run. Now he wants to throw it, and they took that away. So the third option is the quarterback keep. They took care of all 3 facets of the zone read there by Indiana's defense.
Here's Hinton. Touchdown, Wake Forest. Kendall Hinton straight ahead for 15 yards and the touchdown.
Well, as good as they looked on that play, not so much here. This is a quarterback design run. Got a good block out in front by Haran, the tackle. Number 75. Look at the big 75. Fold inside, get the key block on Simmons, the linebacker. We talked about getting this quarterback in his comfort zone. That means let him play athletically. Excellent run by Hinton to put Wake Forest on the board.
Mike Weaver splits the sticks, and we're tied at 7. BB&T, sparse crowd, but right now it's rocking. Kendall Hinton comes alive, lights the lamp, and runs it in from 15 out. The Demon Deacons been out in the rain all day, but it's now starting to stop, and it has stopped at BB&T Field.
A good job of answering. Wake Forest comes back. Kendall Hinton settles in. 6 plays, 76 yards. And they didn't take long to do it either. 2:01. Good decisions by Hinton in the drive. And he culminates it with that 15-yard touchdown run on the quarterback draw.
Mike Weaver to kick off for Wake Forest. Brookins and Majetti deep for Indiana. This will be Brookins. He'll take it at the 2. And a flag flies, but not much there. Great coverage by Julian Jackson, makes the tackle. Big old Jordan Howard, number 8 in the backfield. He's got 3 touchdowns this year. And they fake it to him and throw the out to Jones. Jones spins out across the 20. He's got an Indiana first down. Ricky Jones with his 17th catch of the year. Picks up 15 before Demetrius Kemp can catch him.
Watch Jones on the back end of this play if we can see it. Watch him come to the football. He loses ground back to the football. Dansel couldn't undercut at the safety, and then he turns up the field for the big game. Nice play by Jones.
Here's Howard to give it to him on the pitch. He loses a yard.
You talk about Jordan Howard now, transfer from UAB. He had almost 1,600 yards a year ago and 13 touchdowns, and they quit playing football at UAB. Hey, here's you got one of the best backs in the country. Where's he going to go? Well, Deland McCullough, who had recruited him in high school a little bit, immediately made a phone call and was able to get Howard to come to Indiana to take the place, as Roddy just mentioned, of Tevin Coleman, who was 7th in the Heisman balloting a year ago, rushed for over 2,000 yards and is carrying it for the Falcons. Howard, a perfect fit, over 500 yards in the first 3 games.
Second down and 11. He's got a big gap. Howard's got the first down, cuts upfield inside the 40 before Markel Lee can catch him. A gain of 18.
Excellent job by the sideline to get to the right play. Saw that Wake was a little outnumbered on the far side. Got the ball to Howard. You see the stiff arm on the safety. The kid's got the whole package now. He's got speed and power.
Again, they give it to the big fella. And he spins and turns, and Kemp finally gets him down after a gain of 7.
I know there's one team that doesn't want to see Jordan Howard again. That's Western Kentucky. He went for 203 a week ago, and prior to that, he played him the year before at UAB and had 183 on the ground. So Western Kentucky down there should see Jordan Howard again.
Breaks an arm tackle and carries it out for another first down. Marking at the 46. Brandon Chubb make the tackle after a gain of 6.
Get a back like Jordan Howard, Tim, and I know you had to defend him in your day. You get these guys to kind of get a feel for the game. You talk about quarterbacks getting a rhythm. Well, backs get in a rhythm as well, and he's already up over 60 yards, 13 carries. He's starting to get in a rhythm.
He's on a pace to go over 2,000 for the season. Almost picked off, should have been picked off. Wake Forest doesn't have an interception this year. They don't have a turnover this year. Janvion had it in his hands.
And there's a little bit of a mix-up on Cobbs. Cobbs kind of quits on the route. He didn't think the ball was thrown to him. And as it turns out, Janvion, the safety, as you mentioned, Tim, had a chance for the first turnover of the year for Wake.
Turnover, such a major part of college football, any football.
19 a year ago for this Wake defense, not one yet so
They're
far.
-6 in takeaways. Kentucky, or Indiana rather, is +5. Second down and 10. Divine Redding takes it to the left side. He's got enough yardage to get close to that first down, depending on the mark. Watson and Janvion make the tackle. They'll give him 9, still short of the first. Take a look at our Haviland defensive shield, Arch.
Well, this is the number 7 team in the country in defending third down. They've shown that already today. They need a big one right here. A good job of taking care of business on third down.
Redding has the first, breaks the tackle, slides down to the 30. So Indiana moves the chains again after a gain of 7.
You almost get the feeling, Tim, that this big offensive line now for Indiana is starting to settle into the game. We've seen Howard with a number of runs here. Redding now has carried back-to-back plays. They're starting to move the football on the ground.
That's Jones who comes to the bottom of your screen. Instead, they go back to Redding off the right side. He cuts it back in for a gain of 3. Hunter Williams made the tackle.
Hunter Williams is a good story. Hunter Williams walk-on here at Wake Forest. The Bullsworth Trophy is given to the best walk-on in the country. He was the nominee from Wake Forest. He received that award. He's been a big-time player here for a long time.
Sudfeld looks to the sideline. They tell him to go. Jones and Cobb, two wideouts. They look that way. Jones down the middle. Intended for Jones. Touchdown, Indiana. Zach Dansell on the coverage was beaten by Jones after 28-yard strike from Sudfeld.
Boy, give Nate Sudfeld a ton of credit here, Tim, as he keeps the play alive. The big quarterback, not noted for his ability to move around, play action fake, avoids the pressure on the edge, and then a big arm throw as Jones gets isolated on the free safety Dansell. Jones running that deep over route. The corner turned him over to the safety Dansell, and you love that when you got one of your top receivers locked on a free safety. Excellent throw by Sudfeld on the move there. 6'6", 240. Big, strong arm there.
Boy, he's got it all, doesn't he? That size, he'll get a look, won't he? To play on Sundays?
Absolutely.
Griffin Oaks is good with the extra point, and it's 14-7, Indiana. So here come the Hoosiers. Ricky Jones with the 28-yard touchdown catch.
There's your scoring drive. Indiana 92 yards on 10 plays. A good job of moving the chains, and then a big throw from Sudfeld to Jones.
See if Hinton and the Demon Deacons can react and recover and answer. This is John Armstrong, who will watch this bounce and go out of bounds and will not return it.
Tim, let's take a look at this play. We talked about our food line impact players. Here he is, Jones. He's going to run a little post route on the safety. He gets isolated on Dansell, the safety. You love that matchup. Give Sudfeld the credit to buy time, make the play stay alive, and then Jones shadows his quarterback as he mirrors him across the field, stays in the play, and Sudfeld puts it on his big timer in the end zone.
Ricky Jones' third touchdown catch of the year. Big play guy. Hinton comes in. He's in the backfield with the other freshman, Tyler Bell. First down for the Deacons. Robinson in the backfield for the first time today. Hinton throws the out pattern incomplete. It was intended for Tabari Hines, a little bit out of his reach. He was open too.
Boy, I thought he had a shot at a couple players. He had KJ Brent going deep on the post route, and Hines is going to run the little sail in behind the post route. It just was a little too wide with the throw. Maybe Hines should have made that catch. Got to make some of those catches. Talked about that earlier in the game. Young quarterback, accuracy maybe a little off, a little nervous. Make a play for him.
Second down and 10. Hinton around the corner. Hinton still on his feet, runs out of bounds, but he gets the first down. Chased out by TJ Simmons after a gain of 17.
Boy, Tim, you want to talk about athleticism now. This is a play where Hinton's pretty well defended. We're going to let this go. Here's an edge defender that's got a chance to make the play on him. He just dips and runs around him. A little bit of a block from Hines on the outside, but that was an individual play by the young quarterback. What an athletic play for Hinton.
Personal foul against Indiana will move it down into Hoosier territory. All the way down to the 36-yard line. And that's where Kendall Hinton will have first down for the Demon Deacons. A lot written in the Indiana papers this week about how this should be an easy win for Indiana. So far, terrific ball game. And the Deacs showing up. Trying to run the reverse. It's a reverse pass. It's intended for Hinton. And Hinton makes the catch and has the first down. How about that catch? Tabari Hines with a pass to Hinton. And a pickup of 19.
Hines is going to be the guy that catches the ball. Hinton's going to hand the ball off, and they flip it back. And here's the throw by KJ Brent, and it's a wounded duck. But give Hines a ton of credit to come and get the football. This is the ball that's going to be intercepted by Crawford. Hines comes and gets it and makes a big play.
Tabari Hines went up 50-50 ball and just took it away, ripped it. Hines in motion again. Hinton looks at him again. And Hinton carries it, and Hinton now is shaken up. That was a late hit, hat to hat. Green hit him hard. Boy, they help him up.
Yeah, he took a big shot at the end of this now. This is, again, a giant quarterback run. And we talked to Dave Clawson. He wants Hinton freed up. He wants Hinton to run, but he wants to limit it to a certain extent as well. He doesn't want to let his young quarterback take too many hits. And that was borderline late.
Absolutely.
By Simmons there.
Absolutely. Hinton with time, throws over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Serengay, and Cam had a look at it, but it bounced at his feet.
Oh, and he had a chance to get the ball to Serengay. Serengay does a really good job of fronting the defender, meaning he's going to cut in front of the defender and give his quarterback a chance of throwing the ball. Excellent job here, and Serengay just couldn't come up with it.
This will bring 3rd down and 6. Brent and Hines go to the top of your screen. Stacked. See if Hinton looks that way. He does. Pressure comes. Down he goes. Gray Scales came on a blitz. Untouched. 2nd sack.
Now man coverage in the secondary. Good job by Indiana to defend in the back end. It's a really good job of taking away the quick, easy throw, and then the sack comes as Gray Scales comes in and makes the play.
Mike Weaver to attempt a 35-yard field goal. He's 1 for 2 from this distance. The wind continues to swirl. Good snap, good hold. Plenty of distance, and it's good.
You got to love the way the young quarterback is handling not only the pressure of playing in his first start, but also the physical nature of the game. He's been wounded a couple of times now in the game, and he's hung in there. He took a shot in the shoulder, stayed in the game. He took a big shot at the end of that drive right there by the linebacker, but he's showing some leadership through his toughness.
This will be Brookins. Will take this about 5 yards deep in the end zone. He'll down it, so Ricky Brookins won't bring it out. Really excited to come back. Wake Forest sideline calling ball, 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 trying to let them know it's a pass. They're still looking for their first turnover.
Talk about Kevin Wilson, the head coach here, and talked about his ties to Oklahoma and all the things he's done in his career. Grew up in Maiden, North Carolina, which is only about 71 miles southeast of Winston-Salem, so very much at home here in North Carolina.
Indiana 3-0 for the first time since 2010. Sudfeld to throw. Boy, what a nice pass that was. And Sidney Cobbs with another catch.
Brad Watson makes the play. This has been a matchup that kind of within the matchup here today. Cobbs versus Watson, and both have won some today, but this time Cobbs is a good adjustment to the ball there.
Cobbs with 5 catches, and he's got to step again. They go to him. Incomplete. Again, he had a step on Watson.
Well, I was thinking as a former defensive player, you say Watson had him right where he wanted him. Right in the hip pocket right there.
You never like to see that guy get up next to you and say, if I'm even, I'm leaving.
Well, Cobbs, the sophomore, 6'4", 212 pounds. He's a tough matchup. You look at Sudfeld's numbers. He's been pretty solid. We talked about big arm quarterback. He's gotten a lot of them to that guy right there, Cobbs.
Sets. Now he looks for help. Gets a couple of blockers and goes down again. Just across the 40. He saw Zach Wary coming. He said, I'm going down.
Excellent job by Wake. Yeah, excellent job by Wake in the back end there that time to take away all the throws. He had more than enough time to get the ball out there.
Now it brings up 3rd down and 6.
Let's see what Kevin Wilson and his offensive staff dial up here for his senior quarterback.
Wake shows blitz again. The linebackers walk up to the line. This is Redding. Big hole, right side, 1st down. Almost made it through. Gets down to the 25. Wary tripped him up after a gain of 12.
Oh, he got a good block from Wes Martin. The left guard's going to pull out in front of Redding. He's going to come here, pull out, and get the block that's going to create the crease. Good job. Gets the block on the safety Glenn right there, and Redding in behind on the 1st down pickup.
Indiana coaches were running out on the field to get that timeout with 19 seconds left. 1st down. Redding still in the backfield with Sudfeld. Sudfeld to throw. Looks left. Throws high. Incomplete, out of bounds. Smart play.
Yeah, and it was a smart play, Tim, and it's a good point. Senior quarterback realized, hey, I'm not going to run for a 1st down. I can't. We only have 14 seconds left in the half. Let me throw this away and reload on 2nd down and to make sure I don't lose any yardage.
That's a hard thing for quarterbacks to learn. Some of their incompletions are their best throws.
Absolutely. And he's been impressive here in the first half.
14 seconds remain in the first half. Big play here for Indiana and Wake Forest. Second down and 10. Sudfeld this time looks to the little swing, gets it to Redding. Divine Redding. He's got a blocker. Redding goes out of bounds inside the 15, down at the 13.
We got a good block from Jake Reed. His center gets out in front on the screen play, and Redding up slide. Watch 50, the center, going to get out in front, steps out, and he's going to get the key block right there. Excellent block by Reed to get Redding up the sideline. Redding with the presence of mind. I got to get out of bounds. He does. 7 seconds to go here. Time for one play.
Great play by Cameron Glenn, who's playing for Ryan Janvian, who's went out with an injury. We got 7 seconds remaining in the half. Sudfeld wants to take a shot, but he's down to 2 seconds. 1 second. 1 second left in the half.
Boy, Dave Clawson's wondering now about this. Sudfeld starts to scramble and then realizes, hey, I've got to get rid of the football. And you are here at Wake, so you got to figure that if the timer was going to err, he'd err on the Demon Deacon side. But there's 1 second left, and so Indiana has a chance to get their field goal unit on the field, but almost a huge mistake by Sudfeld there.
This is Griffin Oaks from 30 yards out. He's 1 for 1 from this distance this year. And now he's 2 for 2. And increases the Indiana lead by 3. 17-10 Hoosiers as they put 3 more on the board and increase their lead to 7.
Well, and we're very fortunate there because the time stopped at 1 second left. Let's go down to Roddy Jones.
Coach, you're able to get some points out of that drive before halftime. What are your thoughts on the performance of the offense?
Again, they're loading up, stop the run, a lot of pressure, making us work for. We made a few things. We missed some. Defensively, pretty good, but some big plays, so it's a good game. Wake's playing great, and we got to do better.
They definitely are. Thanks, Coach. It's been a defensive ball game so far in the first half. Let's go back to the studio with Katie and Coach.
Entertaining first half at BB&T Field. 17-10. I think a little bit of a surprise. Hoosiers thought they were going to come in here and run roughshod over them.
This was an offense averaging 40 points a game, and I think Wake's done some good things defensively. I think Indiana's done some good things defensively. This is a defense that gave up 563 yards of offense a week ago. They've played well as well.
Let's take a look at our halftime stats presented by Duke Energy.
Well, Hinton has accounted for 123 of the 142 yards Wake Forest has, so he's done an excellent job. And Jordan Howard, 17 carries for 79 yards. He'll continue to be the focal point of their offense.
Let's go check in with Roddy Jones down on the field. Our coach's insight presented by PNC Bank. Here's Roddy.
Coach, what do you think about your play of your young quarterback in the first half?
Well, we started out slow on offense. The first quarter, we didn't play well. And then the second quarter, he kind of got his rhythm and got into a mix, and I thought he played real well in the second quarter. So we need him to play like that the next 30 minutes.
Defensively, it seems like you've been able to get some big stops to keep them from sustaining drives. What about their play?
Well, I mean, we're bending, we're not breaking. I mean, we've given up 289 yards and a half, but only 17 points. And, you know, you look at the numbers, we shouldn't be in the game, but we've scrapped and found ways to get off the field, and we got to take advantage of that.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Dave Clawson knows that. He told us yesterday, I don't like to bend, but don't break defenses. I like to be aggressive and set the tempo. That's what they did in the first half. They played well. They gave up a lot of yardage, but they've hung in this ball game.
I think he's got to be pleased with the fact he got a young quarterback that was going to be a little sketchy to start. Hinton started their first 3 dives are 3 and out. So your defense is on the field a lot, and your defense did a good job of kind of keeping the game in perspective. And now you're in a fight here in the second half with a 1-score game. Yeah, Sudfeld's done a lot of good stuff. He's made a lot of good throws. He's done a good job of staying alive in the pocket, but I don't think he's given enough credit for that. But 29 throws in the first half, not out of the realm of what they want to do, because this is a high-tempo offense. They want to run it and throw it, and they want to come at you with a number of plays. So I wouldn't be alarmed with the fact he threw it 29 times. They also got 17 carries out of Howard. So they've gotten some balance out of their offense.
Injured his non-throwing shoulder last year, leads the Big Ten in passing, 13th nationally. This is John Armstrong, who takes it 3 yards deep and takes a knee. Let's go down to Roddy Jones for injury update.
Just spoke with representatives from Wake Forest. Safety Ryan Jambion will not return to the game. He is out for the rest of the day.
All right, not a surprise there, Tim. It looked like he was a little wobbly getting up when he got that big hit on Howard.
Yeah. Now Cameron Glenn, the redshirt freshman, will have to play the rest of the half, second half, rest of the game. He came in when Jambion got hurt. Played pretty well. First down, Wake Forest. Colburn, Matt Colburn is the running back in the backfield with Kendall Hinton. They give it to Colburn, who has a hole. Slides his way out, pushes past the 30 to the 32-yard line. And Jerry made the tackle after a gain of 8.
Wake started extremely slow, as you see the first 3 possessions, 3 and out, but then they finally got it going, and it mirrored that their quarterback began to be more comfortable in the game. Give Dave Clausen and his staff credit for kind of staying with it.
Backside pressure, throws underneath, has it complete to Sarnier. Sarnier gets up past the original line of scrimmage, picks up 7 yards. Dutra with the tackle.
Back-to-back plays there by this Indiana defense now to force this 3rd and 7. It's just out of that area where you're kind of comfortable running the football. So this will probably be on the young quarterback. For Indiana, they got to make sure they have eyes on the quarterback because he's run for a couple of first downs already in the game.
Brent and Wade come to the bottom of the screen on 3rd down. They need 6.5. Here they come again. Quick throw to the outside. Won't be enough for the first down, but it is complete to Cortez Lewis. Nope, they said he was out of bounds. Had a foot on the line. He doesn't like the call. Andre Brown was the defender.
Good tight coverage on the outside by Brown. Another freshman on the field. Boy, it looked like he caught the football. Well, it did bounce out there at the end, so good call by the official. Brown, good tight coverage. Another freshman on the field. Another freshman by both these teams. Another kid out of Decatur, Georgia. Columbia High School in Decatur.
Alex Kennel comes on to punt it away for Wake Forest. Averages 44 yards a punt. They've been trying to get to him today. He's been that little rugby style. Here he goes again. This is a high tail wagger. It'll get a good hang time and good coverage by the Demon Deacons. So again, almost a 5-second hang time and a 41-yard punt. Rainy day in Winston-Salem. Even the Deke has an umbrella. 7-point game. Riley Skinner and the 2006 Demon Deacon champions.
Yeah, no question. John Abadi on that defense. They were very good, and boy, that was a hard-fought game. 9-6, I believe, the final in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Wake hasn't had a winning season though since 2008.
Indiana, this is their quarter, Tim. 44-0. They've been outscored in every other quarter. They have dominated this quarter so far in the season. 44-0 to their opponent.
Defense better have a lunch pail right now because you know that they're going to try to work you in this quarter. Here's Cobbs. He has his first catch of the second half. Had a big first half. Picks up 3 yards. Stop made by Watson. That's 7 catches now for Cobbs.
Just trying to make sure that you heard Coach Wilson talk about it with Roddy, that they're crowding the line of scrimmage trying to stop the run. Want to make sure that they spread the Demon Deacon defense out.
Sudfeld throws deep. Incomplete. And pass interference is going to be called. It was intended for Casaro. But Golden looked like he was bumping and grinding all the way down there and never turned his head around to see the ball. So.
Yeah, he makes it's a
pass interference. Defense number 3, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He just never located the football, as you said, Tim. Gold in the corner, but he had Cobbs wide open. Number 1, Cobbs is wide open. He turns that down to throw to Corsairs longer and just underthrown, but Godden was all over him.
So they'll move the chains. That'll be a first down. And Ricky Jones and Cobb go to the top of your screen. Cobb's 7 catches now, has 17 for the season. Wake Forest shows blitz, doesn't bring it. Look out. Howard's loose.
Boy, it's a good open field tackle by Glenn right there. The free safety who's in for Janvian at safety makes an open field tackle on Howard, or it's over. Howard breaks the line of scrimmage. He's off to the races. Glenn makes the play.
First down, another give to Howard. Straight ahead this time, met by a whole host of Demon Deacons. Banks, Rodney, Dunn, Lee. Our 1st and 10 is brought to you by YP.com, the even more powerful Yellow Pages. One app, one site. YP can do that. Sudfeld gives to Howard, left side. Boy, what a play by Chubb to stay with him and eventually take him down.
Yeah, that was a good matchup. Chubb, the leading tackler on this team, comes in the middle linebacker spot. You got Howard, the big-time runner, battling one-on-one on the outside. He somehow gets the big back on the ground.
Here's Howard again. He's got the first down inside the 35.
Well, you almost get the feeling that Kevin Wilson's team has just kind of broken out the sledgehammer. And he's number 8, Jordan Howard, coming straight ahead with the run game.
Ricky Jones comes up with a little hitch in his giddy up, makes it to the sidelines. He comes out of the ball game. 106 yards now for Howard, and you feel like we haven't seen the last of him, although Devon Redding comes in now. Devon Redding out of Youngstown, Ohio, 5'10", 202 pounds. They fake to him. Sudfeld rolls right. He's got that long stride. Tripped up by Grant Dawson. Just came in for Lee. Picks up 8 yards. Let's go down. Let's check in with Roddy.
Tim, we saw middle linebacker Markel Lee leave the game just a second ago. Was working that shoulder, but he's back out there now. And good thing, too, they've already lost one of their leading tacklers. Good to have Lee back on the field.
Sudfeld drops, throws, has the completion at the 21-yard line. Knocked out of bounds by Watson.
Yeah, you love the decision making of Sudfeld. He's not a guy that holds on the ball a long time. Now, Wake has done a good job of kind of forcing to buy some time in the pocket a few times. But when he makes his decision, he cuts it loose.
Isaac Griffin with his first catch of the afternoon. Here's Redding again. Oh, what a cut inside. Into the secondary. Glenn got the first hit, but he couldn't stop him. Shaw tracked him down, but it's a pickup of 8. They keep moving that football.
Yeah, they've got the accelerator on right now as far as the tempo they want to play at. Redding gets in for another nice first down pickup, and now Indiana operating on their time schedule.
Straight ahead they go again. They're not wasting any time now. Sudfeld was using a lot of the play clock in the first half. He snapped that with 20, still on it. Lee comes back into the ball game. Redding. So Lee makes a tackle. It's good to see him back in the field.
And they'll check the big fella back in. Jordan Howard checks back into the game. As you mentioned, Tim, up over 100 yards now rushing in the game.
Down to the 10, they bring in the closer. And here he is. Jordan Howard cuts back inside. Down close to the 5. He's picking them up in big chunks now.
Well, the offensive line is now playing on Wake's side of the line of scrimmage, doing a good job of Reed and Martin doing a good job. Here's Brandon Chubb going to chip in. There's Reed and Martin, the guard and center, getting the block on Chubb, providing the crease.
Howard for a touchdown, Indiana. Straight ahead, no fair dodging. Took on Brandon Chubb and won the battle.
Well, and the 2 linebackers you'd like to be in the hole are there. Lee and Chubb are both going to step to the play. And just the power of the big back Howard gets him in the end zone. Well, that was an impressive drive. That was a physical drive that time by Indiana. We've seen them use their passing attack and spread the field. That time they just lined up and came off the ball with the run game.
Griffin Oaks comes on for the extra point and put another one on the board. .8:27 remaining in the third. The big boys have shown up. Jordan Howard, 6'1", 230 pounds, say, hey, Chubb, where are you? An impressive drive by Indiana, and Jordan Howard, the running back right there. That offensive line for the Hoosiers goes 305, 312, 300, 310, and 310. Corn-fed, hand-spanked, grocery bills are large.
Well, they came off the ball. I thought they took control of the line of scrimmage, and Howard ran downhill. There wasn't a lot of juking and jiving. He ran behind his shoulder pads, and they started to reduce Wake physically up front.
This is John Armstrong, takes it on the 2. Armstrong's got some quicks, but he gets out to the 20, and that's it. 8:21 remaining here in the third period. Tyler Bell is now the running back in the backfield with Hinton. And here he is. He's out to the 24-yard line. Delray Scales made the tackle after a gain of 4.
That was good patience that time by Bell. I thought that he didn't have anything initially, but there was a decent push where he found a little crease and got up the field. They need to get a little something out of the running game to help their young quarterback out some, and that was a good start right there.
Hinton is 6 feet, 185 pounds. True freshman, as Arch has said all day. ACC Rookie of the Week. Tremendous athlete, but I don't think he expected to be playing quarterback this early. John Walford went down with that ankle. Dutra makes the tackle on Hinton. Just a 1-yard gain.
Now, whenever you have a safety making plays around the line of scrimmage, it tells you there's a lot of people are in that box area. Dutra, the safety, comes up. And so you got to figure if at some point there's John Walford, the injured quarterback. He's been trying to help as much as he can. Roddy's talked about how much Walford trying to help Kendall Hinton during the week. But if the safety's up close, that means there's opportunities deep down the field.
When teams have had success against Indiana, they've really been able to take apart that secondary a little bit. Here goes Hinton out of the pocket, cuts back across the 30. Should have enough for the first down.
Now, Indiana trying to play zone, and that means that as the 4 guys rush, there's 7 guys with their eyes on the quarterback. But that's fine and dandy. Now you got to get the guy on the ground. And he's so elusive. Just a nice move there on Simmons, the leading tackler for Indiana, and he picks up the first down. So the fundamental part of it was correct. Eyes on the quarterback, 7 players as they drop back into coverage, but now you got to go make the play on him.
Gain of 6 on that play. Here's Colburn. He goes up the middle. Finds a hole. He's into that secondary. Still on his feet across midfield and into Indiana territory. Crawford and Scales finally pull him down, but it's a gain of 21.
Now, they've been trying to get Matt Colburn going. Another freshman, Dutch Fork High School, Irmo, South Carolina. Just a good job of finding that crease and hitting up Mr. Football in South Carolina a year ago. Over 1,700 yards rushing, 24 touchdowns at Dutch Fork High School.
First down and 10, Wake Forest. Colburn trips his way for maybe a yard. Back to the original line of scrimmage anyway.
Starting to heat up in the big fella area. The offensive and defensive lines are starting to, it's been a physical game anyway, but kind of starting to take some extra shots here and there.
I was upset with Hayworth getting after Green. They are starting to get after it a little bit. The crowd's getting into it. Let's go down to Roddy Jones.
Art, you talked about the physicality of the game down here, and this is the time of the game where those defensive linemen start to get a little tired from those offensive linemen leaning on them for multiple plays in a row. And you said it is starting to get a little chippy down here. My heart rate's up a little bit because I'm ready to get going just in case stuff starts going the wrong way.
Tyler Bell stays in the game. 3rd down and 10.
Interesting play call scenario there for Wake Forest on 3rd down.
That's a loss of 2, and the crowd starts to boo, and they're booing that play call.
Well, they ran the ball 3 consecutive plays interior, and they really haven't had a lot of mileage in there. But I think they're trying to take some of the wear and tear off their quarterback.
Alex Cano comes on to punt it away. Mitchell Page will be standing inside his 10. Trying to pooch it into the corner. This will hit inside the 5. It'll stay in the ballpark and be downed at the 3. How about that punt?
Well, he's been solid all year long. Came in with 11 inside the 20. He's pounded out 2 or 3 more today inside the 20-yard line. He's been a weapon for him.
Only 1 touchback all year. That's a 45-yard punt. And we'll back up Indiana. 1st down and 10. Wake Forest trying to make a stop to keep them pinned. Howell won't allow it. Pulls his way out across the 15. Golden makes the tackle there. Devin Golden with the tackle.
We just talked about Howard, his physicality running. Saw a little bit of a vision. Watch the vision here to get back into the cutback hole, the power to run through the arm tackle, and the finish. This guy's the goods now. He's got all the skills.
Another first down for Indiana. Final 38 seconds of the third quarter.
How about this, Tim, as this winds down, no one has scored on Indiana in 4 games in the third quarter.
Here's the big fella again, trying to get outside. Now cuts back inside across the 20. Another positive gain for Indiana as they continue to move down to the final 15 seconds of this quarter. Pickup of 6.
Let this run out, and Indiana is now 51-0. They have their opponents in the third quarter.
Howard with 25 carries, 131 yards for that guy, Kevin Wilson, the head coach at Indiana. The end of the third. Is Wake Forest still within reach? Indiana's rolling. As we start the final 15 minutes, our third quarter stats brought to you by the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Now the Hoosiers has doubled up in the yardage, and their defense has been the story. They've given up a lot of yardage this year, only 186 yards through 3 quarters. No big plays.
This year, the North Carolina Education Lottery will contribute more than $500 million to help meet North Carolina's education needs. Learn more at nc-educationlottery.org.
No points given up in the third quarter, as I mentioned right there at the end. 51-0 Indiana now in 4 games.
Second down and 5, the quick out pattern. This is complete to Isaac Griffith. And Griffith has his first catch of the game. Positive 10 yards, move the chains.
Well, found a soft corner, meaning the corner's playing off, Watson playing off, get the ball out quickly, and pick up the easy yardage.
First down, ball at the 41. Here's Redding. And he pushes forward for a 1 yard. Let's go downstairs to Roddy.
Tim, just heard Arch talk about the fact that Indiana's subbing a lot on the offense, and you see they've taken the tempo down a little bit. That was one of the big focuses for the Wake Forest defense as well, because of the up-tempo nature of the amount of plays that guys are going to be playing. Defensive coordinator Mike Elko said that they have practiced subbing guys on and off, but they're starting to look a little fatigued now as that play count gets up there.
Yeah, no question, Roddy. As they continue to move the chains systematically here, it's keeping Wake on the field a long time.
Here's Redding again. Breaks 2 tackles and slides forward. Gets out to the 46-yard line. Give him a pickup of 6. Chris Calhoun made the tackle.
76th play coming up for Indiana. They have kind of that magic number of 90 plays in their mind. Certainly closing in on that, and that certainly wears down a defense. But here's one of those third down plays, Tim, where Wake is so good at getting off the field.
Isaac Griffith comes back into the game for Indiana, the wide receiver at the bottom of your screen. Instead, they give to Redding, and Redding going to be stopped in his tracks. Dansel got there, the nickelback, the stud safety.
Another moment there where interesting that Indiana would run the football on 3rd and 5 there. They've done a really good job of throwing the football in the perimeter, but they try to run it into the teeth of the Wake defense, and a good job of swelling up on defense and forcing another punt.
Eric Toth to punt it away. Tabari Hines is standing at his own 15-yard line. Not returnable. This ball rolls inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. A 48-yard punt for Indiana. Eric Toth does his. He averages 41. He hit the 48er, his longest of the season. Rainy, cool, windy day in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. 24-10. Indiana continues to lead with 11:16 remaining in the ball game.
Well, needless to say, big drive for the Demon Deacons here, deep in their own territory. They're going to have to lean on their young quarterback now, and he's going to have to make some plays. This is a Indiana defense that's been very stingy today.
Isaiah Robinson in the backfield with Hinton. He's the young sophomore. 215-pounder. Hinton goes back into his end zone. Look out. And throws it away. Over the head of K.J. Brent. Damari Hines. 3rd down and 10 for the Demon Deacons. Tyler Bell back in the ball game with Hinton. Here comes the outside pressure. And now the inside pressure. And the ball's picked off. This could be Katie bar the door. Tony Fields with the interception, the pick 6. Touchdown, Indiana.
Well, Hinton has been under duress all day long. Some of it he's brought on himself by holding on the football, but this one he got pressure to the outside, tried to float up in the pocket, and then just an ill-advised throw into coverage here. And Fields is going to come down with it. Tries to throw it in the general area, but no chance to pull that one down.
Well, what a
by
great
Brent. A good job by Fields to find the football and put it in the end zone.
Went and got it at his highest point. 5'11". Grabbed it high. Griffin Oakes comes on for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. And all of a sudden it is 31-10 Indiana with 10:22 remaining in the ball game. Now this is John Armstrong. Will take it 5.5 yards deep and down it. 1st down and 10. Tyler Bell the setback. Hinton steps up and throws over the middle and has it complete to Serenier. And Serenier's out across midfield down to the 46-yard line, a gain of 29.
You're going to get a lot of things like this as a freshman. He's trying to learn how to play the game while he's playing. Slides up in the pocket, does a good job of buying himself some time, and a really good throw to Serenier. A big-time tight end down the field, big game.
10 minutes to play. Here they come again at Hinton, and he throws quickly and under. Intended for Serenier. Druta was applying the pressure.
Yeah, they heat him up with a free safety blitz and see if he can make the throw. When you're an aggressive defense like Indiana is, they're going to gamble that you can't get the ball to the open player, and that time they won.
Looks left, tucks it and runs right, and pays the price. Scales, Manjuri, Rayner, all there to take him down hard.
Yeah, T.J. Simmons arrived a little late on the play too, diving on the pile. Dave Clausen was really upset with it. And Hinton's going to have to come out of the game. His helmet popped off.
Dave Clausen is beside himself. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, Kyle Driscoll checks in at quarterback for Hinton, who had to come out because his helmet came off.
Now we were told as Bell runs the ball, we were told Kyle Kearns would be the backup, but only if something happened early in the game, because as Dave Archer said earlier in the game, they didn't want to take a red shirt off the California kid, the freshman. So here we are late in the ball game, kind of a throwaway now. You don't want to waste a whole year for this last 8 minutes.
Another 4th down play now for Wake, trying to extend the drive.
Tyler Bell back in. 4th down, they need 4. And they're going to get it. That ball is complete to Chucky Wade, and Wade has the 1st down and still on his feet inside the 10. Wade scores for Wake Forest, and it is a touchdown. No signal yet. Yes, touchdown Wake Forest. 25 yards. Walker and Crawford missed tackles.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Wade just going to hook up in the slot. Let's see if they ever put him on the ground. He falls on top of the Indiana player. No knee or elbow or forearm on the ground. Wade stays alive and scores. Just didn't see the forearm touch the ground. Let's take a look at the elbow or forearm. Boy, that was a tough angle there.
Yeah, it is.
The ruling on the field was the ball carrier's knee was down at the 16-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Please put 7:39 on the clock. 7:39.
Well, that's an incorrect interpretation of what he was getting from upstairs. The elbow was down, and the elbow constitutes a knee. His knee never touched the ground, so Gary Patterson misinterpreted what was said from upstairs. I think we clearly showed
7:39 on the clock. 39.
The elbow was on the ground.
Indiana fans yelling for defense. Hint steps up, rolls right. He's got some room. Inside the 10, inside the 5. Kendall Hinton with a touchdown for Wake Forest. 14 yards.
Wow, what an impressive run by the freshman here. Looking downfield, he's going to run through 2 tackles. Here comes Spain, the corner, runs right through him, and then a nice little in and out move and runs through the tackle of Fletcher. Boy, good block on the backside there to just get a piece of a defender, but really a nice individual play again by freshman Kendall Hinton.
Mike Weaver adds the extra point. 25-17 or 31-17. He was the MVP in a high school state game in this very stadium. That looked like an MVP run. Well played, 75 yards, 357 is what it took.
Yeah,
with the touchdown
I just
run.
think you're finding a lot about Hinton and his physical toughness. I mean, I think there's no question he has some skills. He can throw it. He obviously has the ability to run it. But what you don't know is how tough the kid is, and I think he's shown a lot of that today.
And that goes into the end zone for a touchback. Here they give it to Howard. He says, all right, I'll take it straight ahead. Takes on 4 or 5 guys and still is a scrapper. Zach Rodney was the first guy to hit him. Keep in mind, Howard's 230, Rodney's 295, and Howard still was pushing him until he got help.
Well, he's going to be a fun back. Now, this is an Indiana team that, you know, catches their breath after this trip here to Winston-Salem and gets ready for the #1 team in the country as the Buckeyes come to Bloomington, Indiana.
How about that? Ohio State next, then Penn State, October 10th.
But you got an undefeated Indiana team who's got to be feeling pretty good about themselves.
Yeah, those guys were talking about they want game day to come to their neighborhood. Here's Howard again.
I know one thing, the Buckeyes are going to get a chance to stop this kid.
Used to be in the old days on homecoming, you'd schedule a team you could beat. Put it and drive. Round the corner goes Howard, and they upend him, hit him low. Cameron Glenn got him back. He's the one who got punished at the end of that long run. This time he cuts him.
When you got a big back like Howard, these kind of plays begin to wear on a secondary. A safety has to come up and make a hit on a 230-pound back.
This will be a 4th down and 6, so Eric Toth will punt it to Tabari Hines. Hines will be at his own 20.
Hines can make this interesting if he could do something electric here for this punt return.
This is a high spiraling punt. It'll take him all the way back to the 11. And he'll be down inside the 10. A 48-yard punt. 5-second hang time and a return of a yard. Isaac Griffith made the tackle. Good coverage. Hitting 75 yards rushing today, 140 yards passing. Here he is again. Gets outside, gets around the corner, and now throws late. Had some positive yards. He was trying to get it to Chuck Wade.
Well, Indiana's done a good job of not having to blitz the quarterback to put pressure on it. They've rushed 3 and 4 players here in the second half and really haven't had to play a lot of man coverage. When you play man coverage, you bring more after the quarterback. That lends itself to big plays down the field. Indiana's been able to play zone and just rush 4, and Hinton's been under duress most of the second half.
Keep in mind, Wake Forest is one of the youngest teams in the country, the fewest seniors of any team in the country. And there's a lot of promise here, a lot of young players getting playing time and making them impressive. This ball is tipped and then caught. That's a completion up at the 22-yard line, and those that remaining at BB&T excited about it. KJ Brent with a 17-yard catch. It was tipped by Darius Latham, Heads up by Brent. They pick up the tempo. Here we go. It's complete to K.J. Brent again at the 40.
Flag down. It looks like offside against Indiana, so the play will stand. Back-to-back catches by K.J. Brent.
Offside. Defense, number 33 on the defense. Penalties decline. First down.
First down across the 40, a pickup of 14 yards. Clock continues at 3:10 now remaining in the ball game. And another completion. This one to Serenier. Serenier's down inside the 40. Here comes Wake Forest, and you're right, Arch. They score here, that will make it interesting.
Just a good job of stepping up in the pocket and then throwing a good, accurate throw.
Andre Brown made the tackle, pickup of 20. First down, Wake Forest. The out pattern again is complete. This time it's to Cortez Lewis.
This is a good throw now, Tim. This is to the wide side of the field. It's tight coverage. He's got to get the ball towards the sideline. And a really good throw to Lewis, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
People are saying, where's this coming from? But Indiana leads 31-17 with 2:40 left. Things are going to loosen up a little bit. Intended for Chuck Wade. Newton was there on the coverage. Well, the teams that have had success, Arch, against Indiana have gone after that secondary, and they've had some success. They've got some young folks back there.
They do, but what's happened is Indiana, like I said, in the first part of this drive, they've been able to pressure the quarterback with 4 and drop into coverage. This drive, they have not been able to get around the quarterback.
Here's Hinton again. Drops, throws, the end zone, touchdown Wake Forest. Tabari Hines with the catch. And it's 31-23. A strike from 29 yards out by Hinton to Hines.
I put my foot in my mouth talking about Indiana being able to host being undefeated and hosting an Ohio State team coming in. They've got to finish this one off because Wake is going to make a play all 60 minutes.
You got to believe the onside kick will be coming regardless of what happens with Weaver's kick here. Weaver adds another point. 31-24. Indiana still leads with 2:33 remaining.
Well, what a good read by Hinton that time against the zone coverage. Only a 3-man rush, 8 dropping back into coverage. And Hinton goes 5 of 6, 5 of his last 6 in the drive, and 7 of his last 10 on the game, and throws that strike to Hines for the touchdown. Hinton seems to get better and better as the game has moved along, and that was a big-time throw right there.
31-24 with 2:33 remaining. Onside kick.
Well, because Wake's only got 1 timeout left, that's going to force them probably to onside kick it.
Here it comes. Here's the big bounce. Oh, they almost got it. They did get it. Wake's got it. Julian Jackson got it when it looked like it was lost. The first Deke had his hands on it, couldn't hold it. And then here came Jackson.
Well, Weaver hits a perfect kick. He gets the high hop. And really a good job by Wake to get around the football. Just really a poor job by the guys that are supposed to be. Usually you have a couple of guys that are responsible for the football. And just didn't make a very good play on the offensive side for Indiana. But here comes Wake.
What a great kick. 2:30 remaining in the ball game. Hines rolls, throws, incomplete. It was intended for K.J. Brent, but thrown behind him, and he was open.
Well, good job by Hinton again to buy time. Did not take the sack. This is where he's got to be really a good judge of when he's in trouble and he can escape, or when he's going to go down to get the ball out so he doesn't take a sack.
Hinton again, look out. Sacked by Scales.
They blitzed. They went back to a 5-man rush this time. They had not been coming with pressure. And Tigray Scales comes completely untouched off the right side.
6th sack of the day. A loss of 8.
Now, good play by Scales.
Kendall Hinton's not going to be dancing at the homecoming dance tonight. He's going to be sore.
They need to try to get half of this back if you can. It's about 18 yards.
Hinton throws another dangerous pass. Incomplete.
Boy, Serenier almost came up with that.
Serenier almost did come up with it.
Threw that ball clear of back across the field, and the big tight end tries to sky and make this catch on really what essentially is a jump ball. And give Andre Brown a lot of credit for knocking the ball out. He was overmatched there with the 6'4" Serenier.
Proud of you today, Junior. Pops is watching. Wake Forest 2 for 3 today on 4th down plays, but this is a lot. 18 yards they need.
They're coming with pressure.
Here they come. Goes deep. Got a chance. And pass interference. That'll bring a 1st down for Wake Forest.
Pass interference. Defense, number 16. 15-yard, automatic, 1st down.
Once Brent got in behind him, now he's in panic mode. He reaches out with the left hand and grabs the right arm of KJ Brent. It's a legitimate call. And what a throw by Hinton under pressure. They're bringing 6. He slides up in the pocket and puts the ball right on the money.
11th Indiana accepted penalty.
On 4th and 17.
That'll drive Kevin Wilson nuts.
Comes pressure again.
Throws, has a man in the flat. It's complete. Again, it's KJ Brent.
I'll tell you what, Tim, we're seeing a kid grow up right here before your eyes now. Kendall Hinton is doing some really good things in the pocket under pressure. He's not panicking. He's standing in. He's sorting out what's going on coverage-wise, and he's throwing some really accurate passes.
1st down, Wake Forest. And throws it away. How about that play? It's what we talked about earlier. It's a good play to throw it away. Shaw came hard. Zach Shaw applied the pressure. Hinton threw it away.
Now this is this kind of stuff where he has to decide, okay, can I athletically escape, or do I need to get the ball out? And in that position, he was pinned. And he did a good job of throwing it over the top of one of the receiver's heads. No grounding there. Just a good decision by the youngster.
Still plenty of time.
Well, I think you got to find Brent if you can.
Down 7, trying to tie it up. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10, intended for Cortez Lewis.
Trying to work the short side of the field. It's a quicker throw. Lewis is one-on-one on the out route, so he tried to shoot it out there. It's tight coverage. To me, I'd go to the senior. I'd go find the senior, KJ Brent, number 80. He's the guy that drew the penalty before. He's getting some single coverage up at the top of the screen, one-on-one with a young corner. He's right up here.
Here they come again. High. Might have gotten another flag on Andre Brown had it been catchable, but they deemed it was not catchable.
Well, again, coming with more than just 4, trying to pressure the quarterback, and that time Hinton couldn't step into the throw. They're going to switch things over and go 3 into the boundary, and the guy I like is Brent. He's the 3rd inside receiver. He's right here.
Any chance? 4th and 20. Throws deep, 50-50 ball. Incomplete. It was intended for KJ Brent, but he just could not make his 6th catch of the day.
Boy, give Fan a lot of credit. This play lasted a long time. Hinton bought a lot of time here, and he's going against the senior, who's already made a couple plays in the game. But Fant rotates around, does not interfere this time, gets his right hand in the air and bats it down. But boy, good play by the young corner. Put the senior up the bat. I think that's the guy you wanted to throw it to. But
came into this game tied for 2nd nationally with 5 passes broken up. That's probably the biggest of the season.
Well, how about him coming back, too? He's flagged for the penalty on 4th down. He comes back and makes the play that essentially ends the game. And rightly so. They've played really good football. But Wake has got a young team, and you can see that they've got a lot of talent on this team.
That's it. They can't stop the clock. It's over. 20 seconds left, and they would just kind of go over and shake hands and say, we appreciate you. Of course, Howard gave him a headache for homecoming. He's a big, strong running back with a whole lot of talent.
Yeah, that'll be the first assignment for the Buckeyes next week, is to try to take care of Howard. But how about Kendall Hinton? The youngster got his first start, and he really stood up and played well.
For highlights and must-see moments from this game and others, check out theACC.com. Join us for the ACC Blitz powered by Ram Trucks next Saturday at noon, followed by Louisville at NC State. You have been watching coverage of Atlantic Coast Conference football on the ACC Network, an exclusive production of Raycom Sports. Indiana 31. The Deacs 24.